Hey guys, it's me, Drew, and I am here by myself for the first time. So earlier, we've said this a lot, that we will be doing our own individual videos as well as our couple videos, but it just depends on what we want to film. It's just more content for you guys. So this is my first dose of Drew video. This is a Madolche deck profile. This is a deck I've been playing a lot lately, and I actually went to locals finally and was able to play it before the new ban list. And I don't know if a new ban list would shake my list up or anything, but you know, I went 2-2, and someone who, you know, still returning to the game and just trying to learn everything again. I felt like I did a good job. I really only had issues with bricking, but you know, let's go over the list, and yeah, let's get it started. Let's start with the monsters. So bear with me, this is the first time I've done this, so let's just see how filming it does. So you start off with 3 Madolche Madolche, and she is the best starter in the deck. You want to see her. Her in Salon is very good if you're not interrupted. On normal summon, she can search a Madolche and add to hand, and it's one of the 9 starters. Next we have triple Madolche Angeli. Madolche Angeli is the second best starter in the deck. You contribute her to special summon a Madolche from the deck. And that Madolche has battle protection, and at the end of the next turn, it's shuffled back into the deck, but it usually doesn't stay back on the field. And lastly, we have the final starter, triple, I still learn how to do this, triple Madolche Pedicessor. He can be special summoned if you have no cards in your graveyard, and if she's special summoned, you can special summon a Madolche from the deck, and its level becomes 1 lower, and you're locking Madolches. Ideally, you want to, she is a starter. You're mainly summoning her off Angeli's effect or searching her off Pedicessor. The combo goes through her, and that was gonna wrap up for the starter Madolche cards. Again, I'm learning how to do these deck profile things, so just bear with me. Next we have 2 Madolche Hoot Cake. He is an essential combo piece. He's a good way to play through interruption. You only play him at 2. 3 is a bit bricky. He's great. You can banish any monster from the graveyard and special summon a Madolche from the deck. Your main target for that is Messenger Lotto. You don't want to draw this guy. You want to have both of them in the deck, and he's summoned from the deck. If there's a beast on the field, Madolche Hoot Cake, you can add a Madolche spell or trap from your deck to hand. Very important combo piece, but you don't want to draw him. And the last Madolche is Pudding Cess. You take Pedicessor and you summon Pudding Cess from the deck. Pudding Cess becomes a level 4. You start your overlay play. Let's turn wrap up for the Madolche monsters. And next we just have some more monsters. So I've got triple Dimension Shifter. We'll get to why I play this in the extra deck, but basically this, when you send it to the graveyard, is like a macrocosmo. You have to have no cards in graveyard, and to the end of the next turn, any cards into the graveyard is banished. You typically want to clear this deck. All the Madolches, basically, when they get sent to the yard, they shuffle back into the deck, and you manipulate those effects and get advantage off them. And so since you manipulate the graveyard, you can have an empty graveyard with your board up and send Shifter, and it's typically GG. And then the last monster I run is 3 Herald of Orange Light. You can play Ash Blossom and all that stuff, but it messes with your graveyard. You need to have an empty graveyard for Pedicessor to work, so you typically do not want to just go full on the hand traps. That's why the hand traps I'm playing are specified to work with the deck. Herald, there's a Madolche card that if you discard a fairy, you can negate and destroy when a monster's effect activated, and you usually have a leftover fairy in your hand anyway, so drawing this is another great card. That's gonna wrap it up for the monsters. Let's go for the spells. So we got the 5 Madolche spells. We have 3 Salon, 1 Ticket, and 1 Chateau. And so Salon gives you an additional normal summon, and whenever a Madolche is, when Salon gives you an additional normal summon, an additional Madolche normal summon, you want to see it in your hand every game. It is that, and Madolche is GG, and you want to. And additionally, when Madolche is shuffled or added to your hand, you get to set a Madolche spell or trap from deck. Then you have Ticket. Ticket, if Madolche is returned from side of field or graveyard to main deck by card effect, you can add Madolche from hand. And if you have Madolche Fair, you can special summon that. This is another great one. Basically, you're doing a lot of shuffling on the opponent's turn to, keep your board and, mess with them and stuff. And Chateau gives all your Madolches 500 attack. When it's summoned, you shuffle every Madolche you have into the graveyard. And you can't, with Chateau out, you can actually add them back to hand. So you want to typically see this to clear your graveyard when you finish the combo. I'm going to do the combos on Edo Pro, and yeah, but that's going to be all the Madolche spells. And then I have 2 Cosmic Cyclone, because I usually side this out if I don't know. If I usually side it out if I know the opponent's not going to be back row, but I always play 2 Cosmic Cyclone because removal is great, and the 1 Call by the Grave. All right, that's gonna do it for the spells. Next we have our traps. We have 2 Madolche Promenade. Card's incredible. You don't really want to have 3 of it because it's searchable and recurable with the field spell and stuff. Well, the shuffling from the extra deck, you can recur this. Basically, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effect, and then bounce Madolche from hand or graveyard back to your hand. And then it has an additional effect. You can banish it from your graveyard, target one Madolche you control, and then you can target Madolche from your hand, deck, or graveyard and attach as material. It's just an incredible card, and the deck is very good with it. And then I have a lot of traps, so I'm on 3 Imperm. Imperm's great. I'm on 3 Solemn Judgments. That's also pretty good. I'm on triple Goes in match. You typically... The reason behind this is it doesn't hurt me that badly because I make a bunch of Earth monsters, and this card is great against Tri Brigade. It's great against so many decks like Prank Kids. It helps me win. And last is the 1 Gravedigger Trap Hole. I'll explain that when we get to the extra deck. So that's going to do it for the main deck. So let's go to the extra deck. So we won 3 Queen Tiramisu. I do have the 1 Ulti First Edition. The others are just commons. Queen Tiramisu is the best card in the deck. It's non-targeting removal. You shuffle 2 of your Madolche cards back into the deck, back to the hand with Chateau, and you non-target shuffle 2 cards back into the opponent's deck. This clears the board. This helps you go for game. And then you have Madolche Glass Souffle, Teacher Glass Souffle. So Glass Souffle is how you can manipulate the graveyard. So you can detach material to target any Madolche you control until the end of the turn. It is unaffected by monster effects except its own. And then if a Madolche card is sent to the graveyard while this card's on the field, except during damage step, you can shuffle up to 2 cards from either player's graveyard. So like this is how you fix your graveyard for Shifter. And if your opponent's got a lot of good cards in the graveyard, you want to shuffle them out, shuffle them back in the deck so they can't get an advantage. This card's phenomenal. And then we only play the 2 Pudding Sis Chocolate in mode. She's summoned, you can shuffle Madolche back into the deck. And if she has Pudding Sis as a material, not hard once per turn, you can detach a material and special summon Madolche from deck. This card's incredible. And then most people tend to go the Prosperity route and play 3 of each in the link, and 3 of each of them in the link. I don't have the money for Prosperity. This is a rather budget list, but you have budget. If you are not on a budget, I have some suggestions. I would definitely play 3 Prosperity. This deck really needs that 12 starters. Its main issue is consistency. It's easily solved with Prosperity and Talents, but I don't have the money for that, so it's rather than budget. And Prosperity, you play 3 of each of the Madolche monsters in the extra deck, and you banish them off, and it makes more consistent. So if there's one card I would like 3 Prosperities. But because I'm kind of have a toolboxy extra deck, so I play 1 Drill Driver Vesperado. I generally have a 15th slot in the extra deck. This would go out. I just don't know what to play here. Dweller wins you games. And Trap Tricks for Falacia. This is why we play the 1 Gravedigger's Trap Hole, because if you open 2 Madolche Magellans and Salon, you make this before you lock yourself in Madolches, and you can send your 1 Gravedigger. If they try to Nibiru you, protect your board. And that's going to do it for the extra deck monsters. And then for our links, we have 2 Freshest Tart. If this card's pointing to Madolche, your spell and trap, Madolche spell and traps cannot be destroyed by card effects, and they can't be targeted. And if this card will be destroyed by battle card effect, you can shuffle Madolche from graveyard into deck. This card's incredible. People usually don't read, and they target this card, and I just gain advantage off it. But this is a card you kill on sight. And then lastly, Nightmare Phoenix, because again, if someone like contacts me or I need a quick link, I guess I pass my turn, have my removal. And Boral Sword, I don't have access code. This card works just fine. And if I somehow make it to turn 3, I make it and just go for game. Great closer. And that's going to do it for the main deck and the extra deck. Then side deck is interesting. You can do whatever you want with the side deck. I have 1 Pank. The deck mainly aims to go first, and then once you go first, they're like, oh, you go first. So you sign out of going second cards. So we've got Droll for like Drytron search decks. We have the Lancias, triple Lancia, triple Nibiru, Dark Ruler no more, and then 1 Lightning Storm because I only own 1, and 1 Harpy Feather Duster. Just gonna round out for the main deck. So let me fix all this up. But yeah, I really like this deck. I've been meaning to get to this profile a long time ago, but now we're gonna show you some of the combos in this video. I've got 3 combos lined up, so you know how to play it. And so yeah, I'll send it to myself for combos. Alright guys, so this is going to be the first replay showing what the deck can do. Now I have Angeli and Madolche, but I'm going to show the Madolche combo. So just with 1 Madolche. So the play is to normal summon Madolche to search for Petting Cessor. And then with no monsters in grave, you declare the effect of Petting Cessor and special summon itself. And then you're going to special summon Petting Cessor from deck and you're going to Glass Souffle. Here, the Madolche combo, here it derives on having a card in the graveyard, so you just want to use Glass Souffle's effect, targeting itself, or the Madolche doesn't really matter. You want to send Petting Cessor to the grave, exactly Petting Cessor, because Pudding Cess Chocolate Emote's second effect only works when it has Pudding Cess as a material. This combo is very particular, but once you get it down, it's just muscle memory and all that stuff. So here you want to trigger effect on summon to shuffle the new Petting Cessor back into the deck, and then you want to detach the Glass Souffle to summon Angeli. Important, you want Glass Souffle because there's some Madolche effects that only trigger when you go back to deck, not to extra deck. So if you don't detach the Glass Souffle, you can mess the combo up. So you want Angeli, and you want to declare the effect of Angeli to summon Hoot Cake, and the Hoot Cake specifically banish the Glass Souffle to bring out the first Messenger Lotto. Messenger Lotto's effect will trigger, and you'll bring yourself a Chateau. Chateau, you'll play it to shuffle your graveyard and trigger Pudding Cess Chocolate Emote again to summon a second Messenger Lotto. Trigger effect of that, and it's really depending on what you have in your hand. You ideally, if you don't have a Promenade, you would search the Promenade here. That's what I personally believe. And then you want to link into Fresh Tart and Glass Souffle here, a second one. So you've got the 2 arrows right here, and you have 3 in the graveyard. And if you play it right, Promenade can bounce one of these back, and Glass Souffle can trigger shuffle these 2 back in the deck, so you can make Shifter live. But yeah, this is the first combo. Alright, the second combo is if you open Salon and Madolche. So you want to normal summon Madolche and then trigger the effect of Madolche to search a second Madolche. Then you want to Salon to get your second normal summon instead of a second Madolche, and then search for Petting Cessor. Before, the difference here is you have 2 Madolches before you go into Petting Cessor, so you're not Madolche locked. And you make Trap Shift Reflatia. The reason we have the Trap Shift Reflatia is because we can, if your opponent were to Nibiru us, we can send Gravedigger's Trap Hold to negate it, and we can continue playing. Nibiru is very deadly against my deck, so if I open this hand, it's a feel-good moment that's very hard for the opponent to beat. So now we have nothing in the graveyard still. Then we go into the Petting Cessor combo. This is essentially the same combo, the Glass Souffle, the trigger, target self, but there's some more lines here with Salon on the field. We have a Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2 here. You want to chain block here to get the Salon search because it's very important that you get Ticket. Ticket you'll get it from deck and flip it up, and then you'll trigger Angeli. And then you go for the Hoot Cake here, again banishing the Glass Souffle. For the first Messenger Lotto will search the Chateau to do the shuffling. First I went to the Fresh Tart here actually, and then Chateau will do the shuffling. The Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. And here you actually do kind of want to Chain Link 3 to search Promenade. I didn't declare the effect of Salon here because I already had the Promenade in hand, but if you don't, you want to declare it and get the Promenade. Then you go to the Glass Souffle, and then we got Gozen, we got Judgment, like this board's GG, fellas. But let's go to the final. The final combo will be if you just open Angeli. Now, you maybe think, why aren't you just doing a Petting Cessor combo? the Petting Cessor combo is, it's the same as the Magdalene one. It's just, you have the Petting Cessor in hand. The Angeli one is a bit different. Your normal Angeli, and sure the fate of Angeli to go into the Petting Cessor here, there's a very different way to go into the line because you already used the effect of Angeli, so you have to time it right. So once you go here, you shuffle the Angeli back and you bring out a Hoot Cake straight away instead of the Angeli. Hoot Cake again will banish the Glass Souffle, bring out the first Messenger Lotto, and then the Messenger Lotto here will search the Chateau. The Chateau will shuffle back, and then you want to declare to get a second Messenger Lotto, and then Messenger Lotto effect, search a Salon here, and I searched a Salon here because I had Promenade in hand, and I have a Magdalene, so I can get that second Magdalene out if I need to. And still have full combo. Again, it's just dependent on what you have in your hand, but mainly you want to, if you don't have additional stuff in hand, you want to search the Chateau, and then you want to finish off with a Promenade. And that's essentially combo right here. Yeah, go to the Glass Souffle, Fresh to Start, set 3, and pass. And yeah, that's gonna do it for the Madolche deck profile. Again, I'll describe my matchups real quick. Round 1 played 60 card Mech Knights. The guy won 3rd place at a tournament near where I live, and a brick game 1, and then I kind of messed up on a chain blocking. I haven't played IRL or Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time, so it was a learning process. But game 2 he hard drew Dragoon, and couldn't do anything about that. Game 2 or match 2 I played against Lunalites, pure Lunalites. Made a new friend there, and his deck was good. It's just I had Imperm both games on his Kalido Tiger, and I had Called by the Grave too. So yeah, game 3 I was going to play against Plunder Patrol, but the guy had to leave. But I genuinely think I would have had a good matchup in that duel. But I would have liked to play that duel, but he had to go, so I got a free win there. And then game 4 I lost to Necroz with a Zodiac and Drytron Engine. But yeah, fun tournament, and I'm glad to be able to do my first deck profile in Dose of Drew. And just, if you like deck profiles, you like seeing the paper stuff, just, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And remember, Kindle's going to do her own stuff too. Again, just because I'm posting a video about me does not mean it's the Drew channel. It's always going to be Drew and Kim Plays. It's always the two of us. I cannot do this channel without her. Like, she just makes everything go around. I could not do it without her. She's inspiring me to do this. She supported me doing this, and I'm going to support her at Ken's Corner. It's just we decided to have more content for the both, for all of us on the channel, is if we do this. But we're still going to upload mainly partner videos. But Dose of Drew and Ken's Corner is to give more content for you guys to have. But anyway, guys, remember, if you like this video and like this deck profile, leave a like, comment, subscribe, join the family, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.